gentlemen, to another episode of the Squawk and Seas podcast, your favorite Pokemon podcaster's favorite Pokemon podcast. If you can tell by the grayscale, George Fabray has died, and we're going to talk about it today. Never mind, we're back. We're back, folks. It's another episode of the show this week. On today's episode, we got the Stockholm Regional Championships to talk about. Destined Rivals is officially revealed. And we're going to talk about some of the good and the bad that came with that and take a look at what we got to look forward to. George got a new settings to play with on his webcam. And, of course, we have this week's edition of Squawk. I am Kyle Cooper-Rios, and as I mentioned, here with my good buddy, not dead, just very saturated at times, Mr. Pony Bottle Champ himself, Mr. George Fabray. George, how are you?
I'm just trying to figure out the zoomed in function on my webcam. I think it's just time to buy a new webcam. What do you think?
I think it might be time. It might be time. I had no idea that you were like using a webcam that was like this zoomed in. I thought you were still using the cell phone trick. I'll be completely honest with you.
No. I moved away from that. I bought a webcam. It stinks. That's what you get for buying a webcam at Target. You know.
You bought a Temu webcam.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We are recording on a Monday today. We're doing a little bit of an earlier recording this week because I sign up for a fitness class tomorrow. Warmer weather's got me. Yeah, warmer weather's got me acting up. So me and Mr. Brad Brown are hitting a class tomorrow at a place by him. So
out here trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
Yeah, something like that. So
do you know what that's from? Do you know what that's from?
No, what is that?
That's from Pineapple Express. When he has like the medicine ball, he's like trying to get a scholarship.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie. I completely forgot about that. That's so funny. No. So I got that going on tomorrow. It was a Monday today. I am very tired. I made the conscious choice to go day drinking yesterday with an old friend. I shot up to Pearl River, New York to partake in their St. Patrick's Day parade celebrations. A lot of fun. I am not built for this life anymore. It was way too bright for me to be drinking that much, and I am paying for it in spades today. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, similar situation for me. I was all in on the March Madness hoopla this weekend. Won a lot of money on Friday, gave it all back on Saturday, and then spent a ton of money in between. And I was asleep yesterday by 8:00 p.m. So,
wow,
yeah, 35. You just can't do the things you think you can. You know, you can't.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that now. One of my buddies I went out with yesterday, he's like around the same age as both of us, and it was around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was doing pretty good. Like I could have hung out for a bit longer. And we went back to this bar. I just looked at him, and I could just see the look on his face, like, you're fading fast, man. We got to get out of here. So I bought him some Burger King. I drove him home, and we did the responsible thing, and headed back when we knew when to give it up to the younger crowd, and I was not going to last much longer out there myself. So I got home and promptly took a nap.
You know, it's like your mind tells you one thing, and then your body's like, bro, you got to stop.
That's like that song, man. Yeah. My mind keeps on telling me no, but my body keeps on telling me, please don't.
Please don't. Yeah. But no, like I still, like I say that, but like it's when I do it back-to-back days. That's when my body's like, bro. Yeah. But you've seen me out in the wild. I can go.
Yes, you can hang. There's
one day.
There's a certain video that's made the rounds in our group chat that is iconic for several reasons. So we can.
But when we were in San Antonio, I even said to you at one point, I'm like, I think I said it in the vlog. I'm like, I can't do this for a third day.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
I can't drink like that anymore. I just don't got that dog in me anymore. And I also don't like being that drunk in public either. Like it makes like the last time I went to a St. Patrick's Day parade, I blacked out between the hours of like 2 and 4. And I don't like that. I would much rather like to be in control of my where I'm going to be, for those 4 hours. So, I think I will be not drinking for a while. maybe a week. We'll see how long that lasts. But
All right. Well, I look forward to a lot of Pokemon and chill this week. So I
yeah,
think Wednesday we have a challenge,
there's a challenge on Wednesday.
and then Friday we have League. Maybe some people might be so inclined to play in a weird cup at 4 p.m. on Thursday. Not I.
Yeah, that would, can we have to touch on that real quick. We've so we are obviously local grinders, myself and George like to scout out what's happening in the area on the days that we have available to do stuff. And we found out there's a cup there's a cup happening not too far from either of us, but it's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday. And it's the strangest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Most cups usually happen on the weekends for obvious reasons. That's when you're most likely going to get your most attendance if you're an event organizer. And this place is it's at a brewery in not a real easy place to get to on a weekday. You would have had to have submitted a deck list 4 days ago to go to this, apparently according to their page, which is insane. I've never heard of that before. So I would love to get a scoop from other people in other cities.
It sounds
Do you have cups like this?
Yeah, it sounds like to me they just don't want all the sweats there, and they want it to be for their actual locals, and they probably came up with a time.
But their locals don't have jobs. I feel if you're unemployed or can swing a day off, go for it. I almost considered it because I do have to take a day off for work this week, but I'm actually taking my day off on Friday because that's when I'm picking up my booster box of Journey Together, which officially drops this coming Friday. So I was able to procure a box that I'll be able to grab this weekend. Shout out to the homie Jason at FTG who's gonna put a box on layaway for me. Do you remember the last time you put something on layaway?
I think it was Kids R Us in 1996.
Wow. That was a long time ago. Probably the same, though.
And it wasn't me, it was my mother. So I never put anything on layaway before. But I am going to go get, I told Jason to put one aside for me. More and more I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I need two. So I don't know if he'll be mad at me about that. We'll find out on Wednesday.
You don't know if you're going to need two?
Yeah.
You think you might need two?
No, I'm going to go to New York because I have credit at one store. So I was going to go to.
I don't think he'll be mad at you if you only buy one box.
No, I'm not going to buy one from him.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying.
But I might still do it. I don't know yet. I got to figure it out.
I might cop an ETB if I can grab one. I do like to use the ETBs for storage purposes, like I'm sure everyone else does, but trying to secure product for the set is going to cause me great anxiety. And we'll talk a little bit more about that process a little bit later today, but we got some current stuff to talk about. Before we touch on Stockholm and all the good that came out of that, I am inclined to talk about what happened on Friday while you weren't at League this week. And I saw some of the best pack luck I've ever witnessed in my entire life. We had about 12 of us we had a split local. There was 10 people for a pre-release that showed up at Highlander Games. And the rest of us, there was 11, 12 of us. We played post-rotation. I played Terrabox, and it was fine. One of my games I won in 3 turns, which was kind of sick. But some other games were very tricky. Don't know if that deck's for me, but I'm glad that I played it. I'm glad I have it in paper so I can test with it just to get a little bit more, just to get a little bit more familiar with how the deck works. But I got to give a shout out to friend of the show, Mr. Brad Brown. Brad pulled the SIR Lily's Clefairy from a Journey Together prize pack that we got. And he also pulled a Lily's Verbombi SAR. So Brad walked away with $450 worth of art rares.
That's crazy.
It was kind of nuts.
It's crazy that 2 people in the group chat have pulled the Lily's Clefairy.
I've seen 0 base rarities. I've seen 2 SAR. I've seen 2 art rares and a full art out of the people in our friend group. I've seen 0 base rarity Clefairies. It's kind of nuts.
They don't exist.
They're not real.
Yeah.
They short printed the base rarity ones. They that's what they don't want you to think about. Yeah, but I also need to give a shout out to my girlfriend. She pulled a stamped Charizard EX out of a prize pack that Rob was very generous to give her. So
I was gonna say I need it, but I already have two, so I'm good.
see, it's fine. You have everything. You're Mr. Stamp. That's what we call you. So
I like the stamps. I like the stamps a
it's
lot.
stamps. I really like those stamps. So.
I really like the stamps.
But riding the hot hand of my girlfriend's pack luck, I did have her pick my prize pack for me, and I also got 2 hits out of those as well. So I just want to put on the record, partner luck is a real thing when it comes to pulling packs. So if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend at home or anything in between, have them pick your prize packs for you because it is real. It should be studied harder. This is your PSA for the day. You guys get that one for free.
And if you're lonely like me, you're just shit out of luck. You have to buy them.
I'll open your packs for you, buddy. It's okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Anytime, pal. But yeah, George was watching basketball. I went to go play Pokemon. It was fun. I'm looking forward to playing more post rotation stuff. I have another deck built. I went out of my way to build the Walls deck because it's a deck that nobody in our group chat seems to have wanted to put that together. It's a deck it's an archetype I've never tried before, so I wanted to give my hand at it, see if it's something that's fun. It's a deck that's going to be popular, so I think we could all use a little bit of help with that one. So I got that built. I got Goldengo off to the side, obviously, and then as I go through the rest of my bulk cards, I'll see what else I can kind of string together. And I have Terra Box, so I have like 3 decks, and Gardevoir, so I have 4 decks actually. That's it, only 4. So, how about you? How are you doing? So,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I was playing Enzorark. I liked it a lot. Now I hate it. I like Gardevoir. Everybody tells me it's bad, but I kind of like it still. I might still play it. Been testing today. You were just watching me, Harrell, test some turtles with some Bouffalons. Gonna test some more Raging Bolt. I'm all over the place, man.
I
You got
think
no
that's
idea.
okay. I think we're at the point where you should be leaving no stone unturned. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, test everything, see how it's, throw everything against the wall, see what sticks, and then, maybe in another week or so, you can kind of iron things out. I say that as if Atlanta is not like 2 weeks away, which
I
is kind
know
of
it's
crazy.
so close. It's like crazy. It's scary.
Where's the year
honestly.
going, bro? Like, what is going on?
I don't know, but this weekend had some flashes of spring, and boy, am I ready for spring.
Oh, being outside, I'm so excited to be outside.
Yeah,
It's gonna rock, man.
yeah.
I'm so stoked.
Spring is cool. It's a cool time.
I agree. As a spring baby, I am inclined to agree with you.
I feel like March gives a lot of spring vibes. You know?
It does, but like my problem with March, and I think I'm scarred from playing like spring sports because like your practices start in March. Like you could go outside one day, or like how it was last weekend. It was really nice outside, like mid-50s. You can go outside with a light jacket. It's great. The sun's out, and then you get days like today, cold, dreary, miserable. You might get that freak snowstorm every now and then in March. That's why when they're telling you to beware the Ides of March, I think they actually mean the weather because that's the part that's the hardest to get through for me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that it has that duality a little bit. Obviously, it's my birthday month too, St. Patrick's Day, March Madness. So when you do like get like one of those nice days during that stuff, it's like this is awesome. Like we have everything right now. But when it's nasty out, like you said, and you get one, and during those days, you're like, this sucks. I don't want to even do anything.
Yeah,
So it's yeah.
it's a mixed bag.
I like March, so I do like
I
March.
do. Now, before we get into the actual Pokemon stuff, I am
Yeah.
inclined to ask you, as our leading sports expert on the show, are you like a bracket guy, or do you just like to like bet on the games when you're watching March Madness?
Yeah, I mean, I do a bracket, but like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, you know. So, like, I think I'm completely busted at this point. I don't think I have anything left in the tank. I think I just donated money. I'd rather bet. I did well betting, and then I gave it all back on Saturday, like I said. So
George, the charity for Bray is what we call you. So,
yeah,
um,
basically, I'm just a charity
I,
case.
when I was like in high school and I was like really like deep into the sports like scene, I was like really tapped into college basketball when I was in high school, like in my early 20s.
Mhm.
So I like studied bracketology. I like was following all like the intricate stuff. I was just like, oh yeah, like the 12 seed historically does really good against the 4 seed, yada yada, like and
Five
like
seed, 5 seed, 5 seed.
5 seed. My bad. Yeah, you're excuse me. My exactly. You can see I've lost everything. I am so far removed from college basketball. I will watch. I've I'll like keep tapped in around like this time of year. My brother roots for Duke, so I'm inclined to follow in my brother's footsteps because I wanted to be like him. Cooper Flagg's really good at basketball.
Cooper Flag's very good. I'll just say this to wrap it up. Like I learned this every single March, and I forget about it when every March comes around. The players, some players are really like standouts, and they're really good, but for the most part, it's all about the coaching.
Mhm.
That's really
I agree.
March Madness is all about the coaching, and I forget that every year, and I'm like, oh yeah, St. John's is really good because now they have Rick Pitino. That's why they're really good. The players on their team are not that good, and that's why they lose to Arkansas,
Yeah.
where John Calipari is also coaching, and they have probably better players because John Calipari's been recruiting longer and brought players over from Arkansas. So yeah, that's March Madness in a nutshell for you.
Yep, and that takes care of this section, this sports talk in the podcast, brought to you not by FanDuel Sportsbook.
That'd be cool if
What
it did.
would be pretty cool though.
Hmm.
You ready to talk about some Pokemon this week, pal?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, biggest thing that come out of this weekend was the aptly named Stockholm Regional Championships happening in Sweden this past weekend, which saw um, perennial bridesmaid and 5-time finalists, regional finalists, Isaiah Bradner, finally win the big one. Isaiah Bradner won in finals against Control God Alessandro Cremascoli. Matchup was Gardevoir versus Pidgeot Control. I was not nearly as tapped into this weekend as I would have liked to because Sweden is all the way in Europe. Time zone differences. I did watch a good chunk of the finals, but yeah, Gardevoir in what is I think is one of the last events in this standard format. I think there might be an event happening this weekend. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, possible swan song for refinement Curlia, George. So
Yeah, really good list. Apparently, I was watching Azul's stream for day two. Henry Choud popped in. He obviously is the Gardevoir master, and he actually worked on this list with the people that played it. So Isaiah Brandner, John Ang, Riordan Harrisman. Um, cool list, three Monkey, three Dark, Energy Switch, Klefki, and Badu. No Rare Candy. So you're playing two Evo. And then the one of TM Devolution, which is definitely good for, you know, a lot of reasons. Saw Cresselia being used a lot while Isaiah was on stream. Um, to research, kind of gave it that a little bit more of a reset there, especially when you're using secret box. Only six psychic though, which is feels a little greedy, but I guess it's really all you need.
yeah, I guess given that you have to play the Monkey Dory, the third Monkey Dory, I guess you have to make some cuts somewhere. Um, you can see why this deck does so well. Obviously, a lot of these decks want to either spread damage with Dragapult or slow you down and kind of a death by 1,000 cuts, cut you off at your items with Badu, and playing cards like Monkey Dory, proven to be very effective, and Cresselia, a card that's been aptly forgotten in Gardevoir as of recently, now kind of has a little bit of room here to breathe again. So the finals is a lot of fun to watch. Isaiah won in a long game one, and I don't know if you saw the video of the pop off, but Isaiah is always great for a stream pop off. You could tell that this really meant a lot to him. Again, this fifth time in the finals. It was an IC champion in seniors. Has yet to win the big one as a master, and finally gets the proverbial monkey off his back. Won a long game one. In between, setting up for game two, I think Alessandro realized he was only going to have 30 minutes to try to win 2 games, and just kind of realized this probably isn't going to happen. And proceeded to concede in between games, and it was a really sweet moment. Kind of brought a tear to my eye. I don't know if you saw or not.
Yeah, I watched the finals. I watched pretty much all of the top cut. Um, I think Alejandro kind of could have won game one.
I
There
think he could have
was,
also.
yeah, there were some lines there that I was really confused about. That I would love to have heard his take on why it happened. But I think he is a very humble player. Even after his interview, I think after top four, the things he was saying were just, like I think this guy just really respects the game. He's an older player too. He said he's been playing a long time. Um,
Since 2011, 2012, I believe I saw on
yeah,
his Limitless page. So he's been around for a minute. So
yeah, and who knows how long he's been playing, as a kid too. So, listen, man, um, Bradner definitely a player that's polarizing, to say the least.
mhm.
Um, you know, I think like you said, it's the monkey off his back. I don't know, not too much to say. He played very well. He had a very good list.
Yeah.
Gardevoir in this format has been doing very well. I mean, I know like in the beginning of the format, I thought it was just Gardevoir and Dragapult when I was testing for UIC. I ended up playing Charizard, but um, yeah, you have a good matchup into Dragapult. It's not the best, but Three Monkeys definitely changed that a lot. Makes them question where they're going to go ahead and spread that damage. But yeah, really good finals.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. Just kind of looking through the rest of this list here. Highest placing. There was a third place list from Julius Brunfelt with Arcaludon, another deck that I don't think is going to be going away anytime soon. But probably the last we'll see of this in this current iteration with the origin form Dialga. I don't think we'll ever see. I think we talked about the V stars and everything that's going away like a few weeks ago. I don't think anything will ever be as insane of an ability as Star Chronos is. Being able to do relevant damage, knock something out, and take an extra turn is something that we will never see ever again, in my opinion. I don't think they'll ever give us something like that ever.
Yeah, it's kind of broken, right? Like,
It's insane. It's so good.
but but also really wasn't that good because it didn't dominate. It only won one regional, right?
Yeah,
So
it came on late for sure,
I think out of the
comparatively.
three V Star powers from like the whatever you want to call them, what are they called? The like Arceus, Palkia, and Dialga.
Of like what their thing is. Oh yeah, like the time space trio or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know whatever they
whatever.
are,
Yeah, I think out of those three, I think Dialga is probably the weakest, though, right? I think Star
which is
Portal,
insane
yeah, which
given how
is
good it is.
yeah. I mean, Star Portal, I think is really abused, and we all know Arceus's reign
Yeah,
with what the hell is it even called?
Star
Abyss,
Starbirth.
Starbirth. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever. See you later. But the other list that I wanted to talk about was the stall list because actually in that Azul's stream, Henry Chow brought something up, and I think that this list was kind of disgusting, to be honest with you. If you look at
yeah.
it, it
His
plays
list
the
is nuts.
yeah, it plays the Megaton blower, which was definitely annoying. And then it also plays one root fossil, which
This is so cool.
yeah, interesting, right?
Yeah, for those of you that are uninclined, the Root Fossil is a new card from the Stellar Crown expansion. Um, fossil Pokemon are treated as they're item cards, but you can treat them as like a 60 HP basic Pokemon. That's how you get Pokemon like Lileep and Cradily into play. But this has an ability called Primal Root, where as long as it's in the active spot, you're attacks used by your opponent's basic Pokemon cost 1 colorless more. So a great card in a control deck where all you're trying to do, where your main job is to choke your opponent out of resources, make their games a lot harder to play, and you're already playing, the four Snorlax, Rotom, the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. It's just cool stuff, man. I am going to be so happy to see Snorlax go. This is a deck that I don't like to play against. It's a deck that I do not like to play. But it's like a lot. I consider control a lot like baseball. It's probably a lot more fun to play than it is to watch for most people. But I really applaud the people that are able to play this at a high level. Because this is a good call for the weekend. I think control's been a good call for months now, and the one or two people that are going to bring it to the regionals are going to always do really well. We see the 7th place list here, but there's also another one in top 16 too. So Snorlax is great.
So Henry was saying that the one thing he didn't like about Radner's list that he didn't agree with was he wanted to play 1 Fez, 1 Petron. Which I guess in that matchup you're just powering up Fez.
I guess, yeah.
And then
I'm not quite sure how you get there.
And then you're swinging with it and then always getting into the active with Petron.
And then I don't know.
And they said late game, you could Turo it up and then you could attack with Petron. Just thought it was interesting.
That is interesting. I'm curious what the line is there, but he's the Gardevoir expert, not me. If he says that was a good call, who am I to disagree with him?
Yeah. I don't know.
I got to fill my my quota of talking about Lugia one more time. Highest placing Lugia list was 6th place by Tom Hellcamp. Pretty fun stuff here. Included the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon as well as Radiant Charizard cards that are fringe in Lugia, but pretty good.
Yeah, Radiant Charizard's only one of note, right? It's not really.
That's a tough one. It's tough to include that deck in here because it's in my opinion it's tough to include Radiant Charizard in decks that don't have switch outs because that guy is just going to be stuck there. A 3 energy retreat. Granted, you play Jet Energies, so it's not that hard to move it out of the active. But in a deck where your bench space is already so tight, having to having the 1 in 10 games where you start a Radiant Charizard feels kind of bad. It's just going to be sitting there for a while. But honestly, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world.
But honestly, if you bench it and something like an Ogerpon is inactive and you boss up an Ogerpon with Legacy Energy on it and attack for 3 early game, it's kind of gross.
That is pretty gross.
Yeah,
I cannot disagree with you on that. But I'm into it. I like it a lot. The Regigigas, obviously, great card to include in there. 16 energies. Everything else about this list is pretty standard stuff. So Lugia has been cut and dry for a while. Only other deck I would like to mention here, George, is this 23rd place Hydreigon deck. Did you take a look at this yet? Because it's kind of.
I played him. I played against this list against the UIC. Nettie.
Oh, that's right. You did. I completely forgot about this.
Yes. Screw that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Countrywide beef. Love that.
No, he's a nice guy. He's a very good player. I got eliminated by him though. So again, screw him. But
feel bad.
This is the same exact list that I played against. So
how about that? Pretty sick.
See, look, 109th place EYC 2025 London.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy run.
Played him round 8.
Yeah, fun stuff with the Pidgeot EX.
So you just brought that up, not even knowing that?
I knew you played a Hydreigon guy. I did not know it was the same guy.
I thought you were just rubbing it in my face, man.
I would never do that to you. I'm kidding. I would, but I would never do that purposely. Yeah, I only accidentally hurt you today.
It's a good list because, the thing that it does really good is that you can, especially into Charizard, you can go with the first attack, mill, and then use the second attack and take 4 knockouts. 4 prizes, I should say, with like over 3 knockouts with like baby Pokemon and like 2 shots Charizard. Then he plays like the Gravity Mountain. So like, you could also do like some shenanigans with that.
Soften up some bigger guys.
Yeah. Let me just put it this way. I put in Temple of Sinnoh, and this guy needed like everything. Game 1, I had him beat. I go Temple of Sinnoh, Iono, him to like 2, and he goes off of that Nest Ball for Luminion, has 4 Sealstone, Quick Search, gets Neo Upper, gets Gravity Mountain, and then takes 4 prize to like win. I'm like, cool, bro. Yeah, you're sick, man. Like, that's
insane work.
Yeah. I'm not salty at all.
Oh, that's fine. We can talk about something cooler that I think was pretty cool. Something that was kind of, I saw a lot on my Twitter timeline going into this weekend was the technology of Roaring Moon EX with Power Glass. Not sure if you saw this one. It's the 40th and 44th place list for Mark Torres Jimenez and Nersin Fatunes, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Power Glass is fun technology. It makes it so that you, I think it gives you multiple Greninja attacks, which I think is fun.
Wait, which list is this? Sorry, I was looking at something else.
This is the Roaring Moon
44. 44.
Yeah, 40 and 44, yeah.
Well,
Same
okay.
list.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Power Glass is sick. Gives you the ability to attack with Greninja twice. So,
kind of
not
busted.
bad.
Kind of busted.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, Secret Box, kind of busted.
I've been waiting for Power Glass to be like a good card in the deck for so long because I have a gold one sitting in one of my binders that I'm just like dying to rub in somebody's face. It's not that bad though.
Like Disco Pile. I don't know what cards it interacts with well right now.
Power Glass?
Yeah, I saw it played in like Enzarark. I'm talking about for like post rotation.
Sure. Yeah.
I saw it in
Enzarark makes the most sense. So.
Yeah, because Darmanitan's attack, it's good.
Looking towards the future, the Garchomp that comes out in Destined Rivals, you have to discard energy and that's attack, so that can be an option there. So,
there was one Charizard that did okay. Let's look at that list. 74th. Max Belt. I don't like
it. 2-team Evo.
Yeah, playing the weird Pidgeotto too. I don't like it.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why opting for that one. That's the non-optimal Pidgeotto, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it doesn't even have free retreat. I don't know why you play that one. Maybe I don't know.
It has to be intentional because somebody else played the same Pidgeotto in another list. So
it's definitely intentional. The only Cornerstone, because Cornerstone knocks it out. I feel like you play the other Charmeleon because of Cornerstone. So the other Charmeleon knocks out Cornerstone plus Dusknoir.
Maybe it's a Badoo thing. Like you can kill a Badoo with Wing Attack or something, but that also doesn't seem correct because you play Charmander. So
yeah, well,
I don't know.
I don't know
That's
either.
Curious.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that one. 90 HP, is that relevant?
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't. Does the other one have that little HP? Let me actually.
No, the other one's 80.
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you. I'm not a Charizard. I'm an inclined Charizard expert,
I have one right here. Shiny one.
Why do you just have that on you,
dude? Don't worry about what I got. All right.
My bad, Playboy.
don't question me. All right.
I also have a Charizard on my desk right now, so who am I to talk?
Because I might play. I also have 2 shiny Charmeleons right now too. So
look at this guy.
You know what I might be doing.
I might be playing Charizard, son.
I see things out in the wild sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get this right now. just randomly go spend $40 in a card store when I'm just
You never
out.
know. There's
But
worse things to spend money on.
yeah, but like back to it though, like flap from one, maybe that's why it doesn't knock out the
Maybe.
dude. But I think that's the only reason I could come up with.
I don't know. We'll have to get some research on that. Update the people at a later time. But yeah, Stockholm looked very interesting to say the least. I don't know if there's a tournament this weekend. I want to say that there is. I don't know. But good on Guardy. You know, Refinement Curlia going out on top the way that I'm sure the people intended. So
Yeah.
we'll miss her. The other big news that happened this weekend is that we got the first look at the second half of our May set, which officially got revealed today. Destined Rivals officially coming out in May. I believe it's May 30th. May 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So pre-release is happening from the 17th to the 25th. We got to look at a lot of the product coming out. Some things of note. The ETB for Destined Rivals features Giovanni and Team Rocket's Mewtwo, which we'll talk about in a second. We got the return of the logo on the dice for the ETB. No longer, it will not be, at least for this set, the EX symbol that has been on all the dice for the Scarlet and Violet block ETBs. And instead, it will be the Team Rocket logo R. We got to look at some of the pre-release promos, some of which haven't been revealed yet. The most interesting one of these is there's a Team Rocket's Mimikyu on here, a Team Rocket's Tyranitar. The set apparently is going to have 45 Team Rocket's Pokemon, which is a lot. I'm sure a lot of that's going to include like basic stage 1, stage 2s. So I wouldn't get too freaked out about that. And the box promo will be a Team Rocket's Wobbuffet, which is pretty sick if you're a fan of the anime.
You know what I always think of Wobbuffet when I hear it?
What?
What's that one song that's like Future? And it's like Wobbuffet. No. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
You absolutely lost me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I Will Wait for You with Drake.
Oh
I don't know. They don't actually say Wobbuffet, but it sounds like it.
It sounds like Wobbuffet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to run in and check on that. Yeah, but obviously this is gonna be our Mace set. We'll get more stuff revealed as the weeks go along because last week in Japan we got the first block of Team Rocket cards, which is in Japan called the Glory of Team Rocket. So we got a first peek at some of the cards coming out in that featuring Team Rocket's Pokemon. And I figured we could talk about some of the highlights here. Starting with what I'm sure everyone it's been a hot topic of conversation this week on Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, a 280 HP basic Pokemon with the ability Power Saver. This Pokemon can't attack unless you have 4 or more Team Rocket's Pokemon in play.
Sure can.
And then for a psychic colorless, you do Deletion Spear, 160 damage plus 60 more if you discard. You can discard 2 energies from your bench Pokemon. Does 60 more damage for each energy you discard that way. 280, relevant number to hit. You got any thoughts on Team Rocket's Mewtwo right now, Georgie?
Kind of busted.
I agree. I think this is really good.
What was I going to say? The ability on it though is kind of like ruins it a little bit, but I think any Pokemon that's a basic EX that can attack for 280 damage and have 280 HP kind of needs a buff, right? So it needs to have some kind of buff. That being said, it's kind of just broken still. They definitely didn't really do a good job, I think, here. Like, so you delete 2, so you discard up to 2 energy from your bench Pokemon. But isn't there like a card that puts energy onto your bench Pokemon?
There's the Team Rocket Spite Up with the Charge Up ability. Once during your turn, you can attach a basic energy from your discard pile to Spite Ops. And it's got the Rocket Rush attack for a grass and a colorless, 30 damage for each Team Rocket's Pokemon you have in play. So pretty decent single prize attacker. But I think the main purpose of this, like you said, get energy into play on this guy, and then, attack with your Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, because we also got some broken special energy coming back now. We got the look at Team Rocket's energy. It can only be attached to Team Rocket's Pokemon, and it provides a 2 in any combination of Psychic and Darkness energy. So all you really need is a single attach. You do the Spite Up ability, energy switch onto your active Mewtwo or something like that, and then you have, a machine that's ready to blow up for 280. It's kind of sick.
Yeah, and then you probably play. We were just talking about it. Probably play the Hourglass on this.
That's true. Yeah, you could. I think you have to discard from your bench. So Power Glass one only works if you're in the active. So Power Glass would not do you any good here. But
okay, so no Power.
Just look. Yeah. So I do think that they had to have made this. Everyone was anticipating the Mewtwo card was going to be broken. Mewtwo's a mascot Pokemon. They've done a pretty bad job printing Mewtwo cards recently. Mewtwo V-Star was horrible. It was horrible's hard to say, but comparatively to other V-Star Pokemon, not nearly as strong. And Mewtwo's a cool Pokemon. So
probably one of the worst V-Star abilities, actually, or tags.
It's pretty bad. But I think with this ability, yes, it kind of hinders it a bit. But it does encourage interesting deck building. I think that's cool. It's going to force people to play, within a certain realm of cards. And I think it's going to be funny to see, you have a bench spot to use for a non-Rockets Pokemon. And I'm really curious, we're going to really see where the hierarchy of busted cards are, because what's the one, Pokemon you're going to include as a non-Rockets Pokemon in your deck going to be? Is it going to be Badoo? Is it going to be Pheasantipity? It's probably going to be Pheasantipity, if we're being honest.
Or you play Terra Pokemon in Area 0.
That's true. So there's a lot of jockeying position here for what's going to be, the busted, the lone non-Rockets Pokemon you can include on your bench. But I think looking at this 2020 now that we know we're getting way more Rockets Pokemon than this, we don't have to be as judgmental on the ones they revealed so far, because the other Pokemon are kind of mid. The Rockets Meowth looks cool because of the art rare. That's going to be a chase card for a lot of people, obviously. The Persian's got a funny attack with the Haughty Orders attack. Your opponent reveals the top 10 cards of their deck. You can choose an attack from a Pokemon you find there and use it as his attack, which is really funny. That's super goofy.
Let me ask you a question. I know we don't talk about the video game too much. I know I'm kind of going a different angle here. I'm just reading through the cards. So if I don't say this now, I'm definitely going to forget. But do you think that this means Legends ZA, when they print the Team Rockets, Ariana, and Archer deck supporters, means that we're definitely getting the lore of Team Magma and Team Aqua starting off in Team Rocket?
In Legends ZA, that's interesting to say. I'm losing you there. It would be because it would be Team Flare. That would be that's the villain team.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it'd be cool.
Is Ariana part of Team Flare?
Ariana they're one of the Rocket executives from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Ariana and Archer are they were nameless Rocket admins in regular Gold and Silver. But they gave them actual fleshed out names in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So
they have nothing to do with Archie and
No. They have nothing to do with them. That's just their names.
See, that's how little I know. I thought that's what that was. All right,
you tried.
Just take all that back. Just cut that part. We'll cut that.
I'm keeping all that in. We got Team Rocket's Porygon Z.
Sorry. What Pokemon did you ask about before? When
I asked about the Persian with the Haughty Orders attack.
Now let me get on this. So reveal the top 10 of cards. You choose any Pokemon you find there, and you use it as its attack.
It's funny.
Is it good with Mewtwo?
I don't think it's going to be good with Mewtwo. I think you like. I mean, it's an attack that is completely based on what your
Oh, your
opponent is
opponent
playing.
reveals your opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So, like, if you're playing against Dragapult, your opponent has a Dragapult, the top 10 cards of their deck. Your Persian can do Phantom Dive, which is really funny. But, like, it's not. I don't think it's going to be any good or playable. I think it's just a silly card because it's Persian. It's Giovanni's, one of his signature Pokemon. So,
hmm.
I just think it's funny. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it could be really bad, right?
I think it's very clearly a bad attack. Like, it's completely based off of whatever you're playing against. Like,
Is there any way to guarantee what it's going to be?
no, I don't think there's a card that lets you stack your opponent's deck, to my knowledge. Unless they're printing one in the set, I don't know. Yeah, but
And we have the really bad refinement ability from Porygon.
yeah, it's reverse refinement. You discard 2 to draw 1.
Mm.
I just find it funny that like what happened to like because like Persian obviously has some precedent. Mewtwo obviously has precedent with Team Rocket, but like Spidops and Porygon Z, like talk about random Pokemon to choose as like your grunt Pokemon. Like did it just like download a bad virus in Porygon Z to make him a bad guy? Like
Well, there's gonna be 40 of them, right?
it's 40, yeah, like 45 or something like that, 43.
Pokemon, right?
Yeah,
So
there's gonna be a lot of them.
They're just showing these ones. They're just revealing these ones.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, I don't think those cards are going to be any good. I mean, the Porygon Z, it's 20 damage for each supporter card in your discard pile with Team Rocket's name on it. There's no way that's ever good, right?
It's hard. I mean, I have to look at this from a different scope because you can power this up with one energy attach. So I mean, technically, there's a role where that works. I'm assuming we're gonna get more Team Rocket supporters, and if this is all we get, then that attack sucks. But I don't think you're playing the Porygon if you're playing.
The only card I think that is kind of alright is Team Rocket's Meowth, because of the catnab early game.
Also known as, I believe it's also translated on Twitter to Kitty Yoink, which is really funny. So
Kitty Yoink would be a sick name.
that is a sick name for an attack. So
yeah, choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card and shovels it into their deck.
Funny control card.
But if it was you look at their hand and you pick it, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could be okay. I don't know.
Let's talk about the supporter stuff here. Also talking about Team Rocket's receiver. You can search your deck for a supporter card with Team Rocket in its name, and you have 3, in my opinion, really good supporters here. You have the Team Rocket's Ariana. You can draw till you have 5 cards in your hand, and if you have all Team Rocket's Pokemon to play, you draw till you have 8. The Archer you can only use if one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon were knocked out. And each player shuffles their hand into your deck. You draw 5, your opponent draws 3. So hand disruption, a bit of a worse version of Roxanne than what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But the big winner here, of course, no surprise, is Big Giovanni himself. You switch your active Rockets Pokemon with one of your bench Rockets Pokemon. And if you do that, then you switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with an active Pokemon. It's Guzma. They just reprinted Guzma.
But it has to be Rockets Pokemon, though.
It has to be Rockets Pokemon, yes. But that's insanely strong.
Yeah. It just kind of points out that, like, it may be coming that we're not going to have, boss's order soon.
Yeah, I think it's very telling that they haven't done a boss reprint in yet. So you're going to have to kind of put a pin in all these other gusting effect cards. Like Lycia's Appeal is going to be one that's going to be obviously a thing. Maybe Erica's Invitation sees more play in a future without boss's orders. And this is obviously like insanely good. Guzma, there's precedent behind this because Guzma was one of the most busted supporters in its time. And this is really, really good. And I think this is only the tip of the iceberg. I did allude to earlier in the Destin Rival reveal. One of the promo cards we're getting is a Team Rocket's Mimikyu, which you can't really read the attack because it's cut off. But from what it looks like, for a second kind of colorless, you can choose your one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attack and use it. So for those of you familiar with the copycat Mimikyu from back in the day, this looks like it's a pseudo successor to that. Now, granted, a lot of the text is cut off, so we don't know what the limitations are behind what you can copy. I believe the copycat Mimikyus can only copy the rulebox Pokemon attacks, like GXs and EXs. So I'm assuming it's going to be in the same vein as that. But we'll find out as the months move forward. I think the Team Rocket stuff is going to shape up to be pretty strong. So at least just like even looking going from a vacuum of what we have here, this is really, really good so far.
Yeah, it's really good. The coolest thing for me is the suitcase.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that next. The accessory, like, if for those of you unfamiliar, you can you have to like enter a Japanese lottery to purchase this, but you can win the chance to purchase a Team Rocket's briefcase that comes with like a deck box and like 30 packs of cards. It's so sick. If I ever roll up to a tournament and I see someone throwing down the Team Rocket briefcase, I'm folding, bro. They can have my card. They can have we're playing Battle City rules. They can take my deck. They can send me to the Shadow Realm. They can send me to jail. I feel like I have no business winning that match.
The mat is sick.
It's so sick. I like, oh god, Team Rocket is just makes it's red and black. Just makes for great like color wave for anything.
Yeah.
This mat looks amazing. I love it's simple, it's clean, it's not too loud. You know what you're getting into when you roll up to it. All these Rocket accessories have been heat so far.
Do you think they're gonna print it for North America?
Probably not, but these things
like, sell it.
These things have been historically pretty easy to get in the States, so someone will be able to get their hands on them. I remember there was the mouse hold mat that I had for a while. That was like a Japanese Pokemon Center exclusive, but I was able to buy that at a vendor stateside. So someone will get their hands on this stuff. You're gonna have to probably fight someone at a store to get it, at a regional, but we'll see what happens. I'll pay the money to get it. This John is sick.
Yeah, the suitcase is sick, dude.
I'm into it. I'm real into it.
Oh boy, I'd really like that suitcase.
I really like that suitcase. So if you have a Japanese phone number and a resident of Japan, hit us up.
Oh my god.
But
really,
any other thoughts on the
mat.
Team Rockets Pokemon? So you're a clown, you know that.
No, I think we pretty much went through them all, man. Like, there's not really much to say. I like how they showed like the other, Team Rocket stuff from the past.
Yeah, those cards are so
Excuse
cool,
me.
man.
Yeah, Dark Charizard, Dark Blastoise,
Rocket Sneasel EX, so cool.
Rocket Sneasel EX.
Those Pokemon are so sick. And there'll be more to talk about as the weeks go along. This set's supposed to come out in the middle of April in Japan, so we'll get a full reveal of all these cards, probably over the next several weeks. So I'm excited. The May set just continues to be exciting stuff, and I'm very upset I'm not going to be able to get my hands on any of this stuff because of how hard it's going to be to buy this product because it's rocking on it.
Should we talk about the queue today?
Yeah, let's talk about that before we get into Squawk and Seas.
So I was just like, I would have bought it, like whatever.
Yeah.
Or put in, in for it. You don't buy it right away, but whatever.
You would have pre-ordered it.
Pre-ordered it. There you go. I'm sitting there. I'm about to go into a meeting. Enter, PokemonCenter.com on my phone. And it's like, you are in a queue. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? And then the group chat is just like, yo, I'm in a queue. And then they only limit to one. Like, what?
Yeah.
What world do we live in that you can't get Pokemon product anymore?
Yeah. The collector market is so hard right now because there's, obviously like the scalping problem, the bot problem. Like there's so much that needs to be addressed here. There's a couple of guys that I work with that like collect. And I watched this guy enter a queue to get into the website at like 11 o'clock. And he comes around like 3 hours later. He's like, I wasn't able to get in. It took like 3 cell phones and a laptop for either of these guys to be able to pre-order some stuff. And again, like I don't usually pre-order like any of this stuff. I've gotten very lucky to where I'm able to find most of the product that I need whenever I need it. But like, this is really cool stuff. Team Rocket is iconic. They're the evil team. When my parents that know nothing about Pokemon know Pikachu and Team Rocket. That's it. So it's like it's synonymous with Pokemon itself. And I'm just not gonna. I'm sure I echoed the same feelings as everyone else. Where it's like the fact that we're at this, I have to enter a queue just to get into the website. which was like thousands upon millions of people long. It felt like at some point. It's insane, and I hope that they deal with the product shortage or demand soon. Print it into the ground, man. Like I want to be able to get my hands on this.
I don't know how they fix it, to be honest. So it might be
It's a
screwed.
problem that's like way bigger than both of us. It's like this is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like consumerism or something. I don't know. There's a word there I can't find.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going, but sure, I agree.
I lost it. Let's get into this week's edition of Squawker Seas,
I
ladies
feel
and
like I'm gonna be
gentlemen.
so bad at this. I'm trying to look it up now.
Yeah, so I tried to find something topical for this week, and I decided to fall on the side of bad guys on Pokemon, which is what where we landed this ship. So I think we can go about this in any way you want. We can maybe Squawker season based on their ideologies, how evil they actually are versus how evil they might not be. Or like things that just might be evil in Pokemon in general, like the lemonade costing $300. Like we can get weird with it. This is kind of a tough one. Not all my fastballs are going to be on point. So I'm sorry
I'm
for
gonna
this
try.
week's guys.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I don't think I really know what I'm talking about, but we could try.
The more we do this podcast, the more we realize that George just knows nothing about Pokemon. So, all right, George, I'll let you kick us off then. So, like, please propose something evil in Pokemon, and we'll squawk or seize it.
So I'm gonna go. I don't know. Are we going like single people or?
We can do whatever you want to do. We can do single people, entire teams, concepts. We can get as vague with this as we want. It's
Okay,
kind of weird.
so since this one doesn't really have a single person, and I think it's really funny because I don't think they're scary at all. I want to see what your thoughts are. Team Star.
Oh my gosh, I have to actually look up what these guys look like again because it's been a while. Oh, that's right. The Team Star is funny. I am going to. They are, for those of you uninclined, they are the villainous team of the Scarlet and Violet games. It's a bunch of like school students wearing like biker helmets and sunglasses. Yeah, they do. Are you doing the Lumen dance? Like the. That's insane. It's so good. I'm gonna seize the Team Star stuff though, because I just did not like the missions you had to do this. I
Dude,
so
whenever I saw them do that in the game, because I played a good amount of Scarlet and Violet actually, and whenever I saw them do that, I would always just crack up. I'm like, that's just hilarious.
yeah, I'll seize them just because the squad bosses are all like parallel with some of like my least favorite supporters in the game. Giacomo, Aerie. The other ones are fine. They're just bad. I'll seize Team Star though. They're fine. It's not for me though.
Oh, I guess they do have people. Now that I think about it, I didn't really.
It's fine. We can talk about it in whatever
Yeah,
however
why
vague.
don't we just go with the teams? Because that's what I'm looking at.
All right, we can do the teams. All right,
right.
so let's keeping it going here. We'll go in reverse order. How about Team Yell from the from the Galar region?
Team Yell. Aren't those are like the Scottish punk band?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a joke, dude. Season them 100%, bro.
I'm actually gonna squawk them because they're such a joke.
They were. I mean, also screw Team Yells. What was the card? Team Yells.
Team Yell's cheer.
Yeah, that card was stupid for Snorlax stall.
Yeah, it's pretty bad stuff. Team Yell's funny because like if you know anything about like soccer culture, they're basically just like like once you like do like enough digging, there is like a post where you can like I think there was like a post I saw when Sword and Shield came out where they were able to like give locations to where everything is in Galar to like actual locations in like Europe, and they were able to pinpoint that Team Yell's hometown of Spikemuth was Liverpool. So basically, they're just rooting for like Lily as a soccer team, as like a bunch of Liverpool fans. So I just find they're such a joke. I just think it's I'm willing to squawk them because they're that funny. It's just
All
so
right.
stupid. I'll squawk it because they're funny looking. So
So the one that I think is actually the scariest, so I would squawk them being scary. Team Plasma.
yeah, no, these. I'll squawk them. In terms of just like actual evil people. Like when you look at like the core concept of like what all these evil teams do, like there's something that they masquerade in front of, but really all like they want to do is like steal Pokemon. Team Plasma are legitimately evil people.
Yeah, like
Like,
Getsus freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie, especially with
Cyrus is a
his
psycho. Yeah,
like lore, dude.
yeah, it's
You know,
crazy stuff.
you know the lore. Him and N.
Yeah, he's like N's adoptive father or something like that.
Not
Is that
that
what it
lore,
is?
brother. Not that lore,
What's
brother.
what's the other lord? I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
So apparently, I don't know if this is kid friendly, but this is a Pokemon lore or theory that Getsis was fooled by a Zoroark, and then N was born. If you could get what I'm saying.
Oh, that's right. I was familiar with this. That's crazy.
So N is actually half a Zoroark. That's why he looks the way he looks. And Getsis doesn't acknowledge N as his son because he's ashamed of what happened. So for those reasons, I'm squawking Team Plaza. That's some dark stuff.
Yeah, that's dark. That's scary stuff. Like the whole vibe of Team Plasma like freaks me out. Like like Black and White is when Pokemon tried to make their games a little bit more plot heavy. So like you get a lot more story with Team Plasma, and then you get to N's castle, and then you get to that like weird like his room in the castle, which is like a children's playroom. The whole vibe is off, man. It is creepy beyond all hell. Gets this is the whole team just gives me the willies. So yeah, in terms of on those grounds, I'll squawk. But let's talk about what I think are like some of the most like evil people in Pokemon, and that's Team Galactic. Um, these people are like I said, like most evil teams, like their plans all really just boil down to like stealing Pokemon. Except with like Team Plasma, they want Pokemon and humans to like live, be liberated, yada yada yada. Like Cyrus is an absolute like psychopath. He like wants to destroy the world. Like
Yeah.
if you like watch any of the like the anime stuff with like Team Galactic, these people are like legitimately insane. So on those grounds, I will squawk them. They are actual threats to humanity.
So
They're scary.
in Pokemon's Legends, so I'll squawk them too. But in Pokemon's Legends, what was the last one? Arceus.
Arceus, yeah.
Yes. Uh, that's Team Galactic, right? Like the beginning of it. Silene was like a good person, though.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird. They're like ancestors to like who like Cyrus and everybody like ends up becoming. But like, so I guess like you can maybe see some of the good in some of those people, but like you Cyrus as a whole in terms of like the evil leaders is like an absolute raging maniac. Like he just wants to like kill Pokemon and humans and destroy the world, and you know goes into the sorcerer world with Giratina. The whole thing is just off.
Yeah.
Um, so
Freaky
I'll
people.
squawk them on the grounds of just being evil and scary. So
All right. Here's one that I think is not so scary. I think they're kind of a joke too. Oh, I got a whole tier list here. Let's go. Um, Team Skull.
Team Skull's funny, man. Like in terms of like actual threat, I'm gonna seize them. In terms of memes, I'm squawking him to high heaven. Your boy
Hey,
Guzma is so
yeah,
funny.
Guzma.
Like
Guzma's Galaspod. Like I actually like. I would squawk them because I think they're like a cool team. To be honest.
I would too. I think they're sick. Like design wise, they're very interesting. I like I like the dumb like the little like dance routine they do, like the little like dumb walk
Yeah.
that they have. Like your boy Guzma, like it's funny stuff. I find them to be very amusing. So
And they're not even really like the real bad guys in that game. Like the Aether
no,
Foundation is the real bad people.
yeah, Lucamine is twisted. That woman needs help. She, well, Lucamine is freaking crazy. So, but yeah, I like Team Skull though. They're funny. They make for great cosplays. Like I remember I went to a convention once. I saw a bunch of like Team Skull grunts, and they're just like They just like feed so well to the joke. They're just like dancing around, like trying to take people's lunch money and stuff. It's funny stuff. So
Yeah.
I gotta replay Sun and Moon sometime. Those games are great.
Sun and Moon is very good.
I love those games a lot. All right, we've been going for a bit here. Not all evil teams are created equal, so we'll just we got to talk about the baddies. We got to talk about the OGs. We got to talk about Team Rocket. What do you
Yeah, I mean, I'm squawking Team Rocket. I mean, Jesse and James, dude, Giovanni. I mean, Meowth, the whole gang. It's my childhood, bro. That's like Meowth talking. No one ever understood why. I always, I always thought it was really funny how that one anime, the one clip in the anime when Meowth is like in love with the Purloin. They're like, Purloin's a boy.
I do remember that. That's very funny.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Team Rocket has some of the most comedic like parts of Pokemon there are.
they're great. They're great. And just like in terms of the games, obviously they're menacing. When you find out that Giovanni is also the gym leader of the Viridian Gym, it blows your mind as a 6-year-old. But like you said, just like in terms of like the anime, like I couldn't do as a kid. I struggled a lot in school. I struggled in math. I struggled to pay attention. I couldn't remember phone numbers. I could remember every line to the Team Rocket motto growing up because that's where my brain space was dedicated to. I don't care about multiplying by 4s. I care about protecting the world from devastation. So it's like it's iconic. You hear that music play in the background. It just gets you something going. Team Rocket always had the comic relief Pokemon. Like Lickitung is at least in our circles is a funny inside joke. Victory Bell eating James was always very funny. Like that.
Wobbuffet, Mimikyu.
Yeah, Wobbuffet in general is just so fucking funny.
Yeah, and even when they had the Morpeko, that was funny.
Yeah,
twist
that was
too.
cute.
Yeah.
The Beware, like they just have they just keep finding ways to to keep them funny. And there was people forget about that one era of the show. I think it was like in the beginning of I think it was the beginning of the Black and White series where like Team Rocket like went like serious for a while. Like they changed their costumes to like the classic like black to the classic black and red Team Rocket costumes. And some fun Pokemon history. There was originally supposed to be a showdown episode between Team Rocket and Team Plasma in the anime, but there was like an earthquake or a tsunami that happened in Japan, so they completely scrapped the special. So they just completely abandon that plot line, and then Team Rocket goes back to being like a slightly sillier version of their serious selves, like back in like the original like white and red costumes. So that whole plot line with Team Plasma like does not get resolved till like the end of the Black and White anime. So it's just another. I was really tapped into the show back then, so it's just something I found very interesting. So Team Rocket rules. Love those guys.
What about some Pokemon that are like villains? Like I remember like one that I thought was like kind of freaky was Necrozma. I think because I played so much Sun and Moon. Squawker sees Necrozma.
I'll squawk him because he's menacing. Necrozma is horrifying. That Pokemon is scary stuff. And we got how about what's the other one we got? Well, Mewtwo himself, obviously, like first movie, Mewtwo, armored Mewtwo.
Mewtwo, squawking armored Mewtwo. Giovanni's Mewtwo.
That was one of the first movies I saw in theaters.
Really?
Yeah, that was I think that was one of the first times my parents took me to the movie theater was to see Pokemon the first movie.
I think the first time I went to the movies was Toy Story.
You're a little bit older than me, so that makes sense. So
yeah, it's kind of really dating myself there.
I was 1 year old when Toy Story came out. So
hell of a film.
Great movie. Love it. Yeah, that's all. I think that's all we got for our evil thoughts on evil Pokemon and Pokemon teams. But they're all pretty bad.
The only other evil Pokemon I would say would be like Eternatus. That guy was kind of freaky.
He had a fun arc in the anime in the Pokemon Journeys anime. He was a little menacing.
Just trying to.
Sudowoodo is an evil Pokemon because he blocks the way for you. So
what about Mr. Rose?
Mr. Rose is.
President
Chairman Rose?
Chairman Rose, yeah.
Yeah. They're bad people. They're
Yep, people.
evil.
Yep.
Real bad people. Hate to see it. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this week's edition of Squawker Seas. We'll try a better one next week, folks. Don't worry, we'll think of something. But
Yeah.
we had fun with that one. It's gonna be fun to see more Team Rocket stuff come out. Team Rocket rules. So, but yeah, that's gonna be all we got for y'all this week. Georgie, let the people know where they can find you.
Pony Bottle Champ, PNYBTL Champ on the X platform. Definitely should be posting more about post rotation coming up these next couple days. I want to start seeing like the community's reaction to some of the lists that I put out there. I want people to tell me I'm an idiot, so I'll post some stuff there.
And don't be
What
mean
about
to
you?
George. Only we're allowed to call him an idiot. All right, we're his friend. You guys can follow me at Koopa NJ on Twitter. I am a esports commentator for hire. So if you're looking for a Pokemon caster for stuff, hit my line. Or if you want to listen to me talk about Severance, just real quick before we wrap up, thoughts on the Severance finale?
Incredible. They really left us on a cliffhanger there, and like I said to you earlier today, to you and Brad, like if they don't put it all together in season 3, I don't want a season 4. Like I just don't want it. Like I can't take it anymore. Like I need to just know does Lumen go down or like if they drag it out for season 4, it's gonna be bad. Let me put it that way. It has to end here.
I would. It's tough to say because like I think that sort of era of TV is behind us, where like you can get like 6-7 seasons or something. I do agree that we might need some sort of like triumphant finale in the 3rd season. But I mean, if the writing continues to be good, then I'll take it. I just don't want it to go where like because Lost is obviously like a big inspiration for the show. I love Lost. I would some of those later seasons get a little crazy, but yeah, the season 2 finale was great. I screamed, I laughed, I was left with anguish, and I think that's what good TV is supposed to do. A lot of really good TV out right now. I highly recommend you guys check out Severance if you haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah. I've also become a big fan of Milchek. Squawk and Milchek.
oh yeah, I'm squawking Mr. Milchek. Oh bro, that that whole dance routine was insane. We're gonna be hitting that one for the rest of our lives, man.
He's the best.
All right. Yeah. All right, that's going to be it for us this week, guys. Tune in next week. We'll talk more about TV and Pokemon and everything in between. So good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Adios.